Sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Step into softness with the carpet upgrade from the Home Depot.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard,
With our total project price match guarantee,
serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs.
style prices. Enjoy our everyday low prices.
Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream.
Fresh with new carpets,
45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
as a safety manager.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports.
Safety supplies in stock.
Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need.
Granger offers a broad range of quality products and next
Go
day
to
delivery.
nffafsa.org. That's nffafsa.org.
Granger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey there.
International
I'm Phil Briggs,
Protective
Navy
Services
veteran
is a
and
proud
host of
supporter of
CBS
ProView
Ion
Sports and
Veterans
Mexico
weekly radio
Youth
show and
Athletics.
podcast. And I often think of my old boss,
IPS provides
Commander
residential
Lee,
and commercial
especially
security
when trying to
services
motivate my
in
kids.
the Albuquerque metro
now I
area.
know how he must have felt trying to motivate me.
For more
This
info,
Military
please call
Appreciation Month, Navy Federal Credit Union wants to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every
2420 or
day.
visit
Learn more at
internationalprotectiveservice.com.
NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based
We
on
would
a
like to
February
thank the
2024
following
Nielsen
sponsors
report, learn
for
more at
making this broadcast
Discover.com/credit
possible.
card.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can
Rick Elliott with
celebrate the
JPR.
great
Our
and
construction
have your
supply
own
stores have
piece
power
of
concrete
history.
buggies.
I'm
and
David
power
C.
tools.
Chavez,
For
personal
sale or
injury
rent,
attorney.
move
For
concrete
over
with
4
less effort
decades,
and get
our
a
law firm has
consistent,
remained
smoother
steadfast
finish.
in our
You'll save time,
commitment
money,
to
and
serving
your back.
the
Find our
remarkable
supply
people of
stores
New
in
Mexico
Albuquerque and
that have been
Rancho
injured
at
through no fault of their own.
JPRSupply.com.
I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a local. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
And AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
What you watched last night was so highly improbable, implausible, in fact, damn near impossible, but yet it happened. And it didn't happen at one venue, in one location, in one game. It happened twice. Not the same. No, not the same. But yet both places, both NBA games, both playoff games were highly improbable, insanely implausible, and damn near impossible, but they happened. And in fact, now the road team has won every game, 5 of them, played in the second round of the playoffs of the NBA. All of the first games of the series were won by the road games, and you are watching some of the most insane endings you've ever seen, meltdowns spectacular, and performances that are coming from where? Good morning, boys and girls, and Merry Wednesday. Boy, do we got a lot to do today. What a night in the playoffs. Not just on the hardwood, but on the ice as well. The Edmonton Oilers are crazy, too. But what we watched both in Cleveland and in Minneapolis last night, there is no way, if I'd have given you the circumstances beforehand, you predict that outcome. It's the opening drive. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I'm Jeff Symbieta. He, BJJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
I was thinking of words coming in this morning and, well, even last night. And I settled on all 3 of them. Improbable, implausible, and damn near impossible. Both of those games last night, what the Cavaliers did, or more so, well, yeah, I think it's more the Cavaliers than the Pacers. And tell me Steph Curry's going out in the second quarter, and you're on the road against a Minnesota team like that, and you're coming off a 7-game series 2 days ago, and you're tired and you're exhausted, and you're going to win going away.
Yeah, there was, as you laid out, losses that hurt in very different ways, but both are very bad. It's the collapse of the Cavaliers, and then Minnesota scoring 11 points in the second quarter in a game which Steph Curry does not play, and you lose at home. Your head coach is calling out your superstar after game one. Just a terrible loss for Minnesota.
Tell you what, I think if you're going to ask me which one of them bounces back and wins the series, I'd still say Minnesota now. Because I think Cleveland is just looking in the mirror. Cleveland played without 3 stars, 3 lottery picks last night. You're right. No Evan Mobley, no DeAndre Hunter, no Darius Garland. 3 lottery picks that play. All right, and they were down 1-0. That's all right. So if they get beat by 11, 12 points, you're like, damn, well, hopefully they get those guys back and the 1 seed's on the ropes. But no, to their credit, they fought all night. In fact, they were winning all damn night. Indianapolis scored 15 points. Indiana did in the first quarter. They were the Cavaliers by 8 points. Max Strus hit that. Was it 7? I think it was 7. Max Strus hit that 3. They go up by, I think it was 8. With 50 seconds to go. And they collapsed. On the collapse meter, I told you last night, I think it was 85-15 collapse.
I'm pushing that higher than that.
I thought that might be soft. Yeah.
That's a 90-10. 90 plus.
Donovan Mitchell, who, by the way, I can't sit here and blame Donovan Mitchell. I mean, all he did was score 48 points last night, have 9 assists. Donovan Mitchell was everything you needed Donovan Mitchell to be last night. But he gets the offensive foul, swing the elbow, popping a dude right in the chops. Kind of lucky he didn't get a flagrant there, right? Because that would have spun it. They would have given him 2 shots and the ball. Let me ask you something on that one. Isn't there in the sphere, like if you're in a dude, because he was in his verticality. Like the defenders was in his shirt, but like his head, I don't even know how to say it. Like if you draw a sphere, a line up my body, my head is back, but my torso is still forward, and you're inside my torso. Does this all make sense? Isn't there
verticality?
Isn't there a rule of verticality that I'm allowed to like move?
Yeah, I think if Cleveland had a timeout left and challenged that, they could have won the challenge.
But they reviewed it anyway. I mean, would they have? They reviewed it for a flagrant. I guess you couldn't then not call the offense because you already called the offensive foul, so you couldn't take that back. You couldn't rescind that in that situation because they reviewed it. I think they were lucky they didn't get a flagrant. Anyway, so there's a turnover. Indiana scores. You get the ball back. It's out on the sideline. You're coming out of a timeout. You're up 5. Max Strus throws a LeBron James-like inbounds pass. They throw it away. They hit a 3. So, and Siakam was great in this whole thing. And then at the end of the game, you're up by, what was it? You're up by 3. Halliburton makes the first free throw, misses the second, I believe, purposely, don't you? They allow him to get his own damn rebound. He comes out, jab, step back, 3. Good night now. Ultimate. I don't know how Cleveland comes back.
Yeah, with the injuries down 2-0, taking that shot, it's one where, we were talking yesterday, and you just see it with the injuries involved that Cleveland was in the most trouble. And then to have this collapse. And sorry, I got confused. I was thinking the last play that sent Halliburton to the free throw line.
Oh, yeah. That one could have been reviewed. Yeah.
That one, I think with Donovan Mitchell, that was straight up. Like, I think that could have been a very interesting review had the Cavs had a timeout to use their challenge, but they didn't. And that's part of the strategy of late game situations. And to the way it played out, Halliburton coming up short in the free throw, it being tapped right back to him. Just an incredible moment. And the Pacers, man, you look back at that Bucks game they won. Gary Trent not catching a basketball, them taking advantage of it. Bad inbounds pass, them taking advantage of it. And that's what I've talked about the Pacers this entire playoff series. If you're good, you can be in position to have a special season and be on the verge of something. And they're on the verge of going to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is tremendous for the Indiana Pacers.
It is. Would you give them a chance against the Knicks or the Celtics?
I would not be picking them, but I would not be surprised to pick off a couple games because that's what they've done in the playoffs.
You know, we talk about learning how to win and having a superstar. And the crowd in Cleveland was chanting overrated all night to Tyrese Halliburton because he was voted, I guess, by the players. Is that right? The most overrated player?
Which, to me, is outrageous.
I agree with you. And I thought his press conference last night was so good, where he talked about it, and he says, I guess that's going to be a thing that follows me until the next poll comes out or whatever. But he ended it with, overrate that.
Yeah, it's a one thing if fans chant it because they do that to the good players and opposing teams all the time.
Yeah.
But the fact that there was a player survey and NBA players voted Tyrese Halliburton the most overrated player, like, are we all watching different things? You can be bitter that the dude was on the Olympic team, I guess, but
yeah, we are.
He's been a great addition since they made that trade. They gave up Sabonis to get Halliburton, and Halliburton has lived up to his end of the deal.
It's an utter popularity contest, and I would argue, why are we putting that out? Tell me what good that does to put that on a ballot in a survey amongst NBA players.
It's just great for
what
news cycle. Like The Athletic does a player survey, and they get the headlines.
Yeah, I think it's great to say who's the best coach, what's the best, or whatever. When you start getting into the negative category stuff, and that would certainly be that, right? I just wonder what's the point. And to your point, I guess it is. The point is, give me some juice. Give me something to talk about. Give me, right? And I always wonder, why, what good does it do? What am I focusing on the negative for? But I thought his retort last night was so good. Overrate that. 19 points, 7-11 shooting last night for Tyrese Halliburton. 23 points for Miles Turner, 23 points for Aaron Nesmith. Pascal Siakam's on that team. The former Aggie is a champion. I look at their roster, JJ, and they go deeper than some. Would they give the Knicks or the Celtics a run? Because it's starting to look that way. I really liked Cleveland. I wouldn't have been surprised if this was going to be a Cleveland-Oklahoma City final. I really wasn't going to be. And now I might be a little bit more surprised. I'm not there yet to count either one of them out. I'm not. After 1 or 2 games in those series. But you're going to tell me, all right, I do have a star in Halliburton. I do. I've got a champion big man in Siakam. I've got a really solid starting lineup with Nesmith, Turner, and Nembhard. Are they the Celtics? Probably. I mean, I still think the Celtics get out of that series, don't you?
I do. I'm still in Boston.
Yeah. I mean, can they get through them?
But that's what I've discussed, man. We get caught in this world where, to your point, headlines talking about things and good. Like, you can't be good. It's either, well, you're just not good enough. You don't have a superstar, so you should suck. So you could draft maybe a number 1 overall pick at quarterback.
And have a year.
Or maybe the next Joel Embiid, and how's that worked out for the 76ers? Or you can just try to build a foundation like the Pacers did. Win. Make a big-time trade. You brought in Halliburton. Make another big-time trade. Bring in Pascal Siakam. Win a lot of games and put yourself in position to get to a conference final, which then who knows what happens. Does a player get hurt? Steph Curry. Does something go your way where you're able to pull out a crazy game? And all of a sudden you'd be looking at, hey, we're in the NBA Finals.
Yeah. All right, a ton today. Cowboys made a trade this morning. Cowboys got a receiver this morning, a good receiver. I don't think they overpaid for him either. Now, it's a risk. Tell you who that is. Cowboy fan, can't wait to hear your thoughts. Got to get into the Warriors last night and Wolves. Steph Curry goes down, hamstring, goes to the locker room, come back shortly after. Report Steph Curry's out for the game. They're done, right? Who's done? 505-246-0610. Josh Sushan's going to be with us at 9:45 to preview Isotopes and Oklahoma City Comets. That's coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. So Josh will be with us at 9:45. The keyword for the backyard blow-up, I'm going to give that to you at 9:10 this morning. So stay with us for that. We're open for business at 505-246-0610. Adrian's producing on the ProView Network's visual side. You can watch us on Comcast or Xfinity Channel 26. You can watch us on our Facebook, The OD in the AM, or on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. It's all right there. Text and phone 505-246-0610. Emails jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, jj@sportsanimалabq.com. All right, weather's going to get better. Now that this wind and rain's supposed to get out of here, schedule on-the-spot automotive detailing. Have them come take care of your vehicle because it's filthy. And I get it because mine is too. And actually the inside needs it, and that's why they're going to detail my vehicle. Inside and outside, that's what they do. They make your car, your truck, your SUV look, feel, smell brand new like the day you took it off the lot. They come to you and detail your vehicle. People ask me all the time, what does that even mean, Jeff? Well, exactly what it sounds. You're in your office, you're in the house, you're busy, you're working, they're in the parking lot, they're in the driveway. They bring their mobile unit, they detail your vehicle. They're best in the city at doing what they do. Under the hood, the engines, under the seats, everything. They're done, you go outside, and your car looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. It's one of your biggest investments. You're going to have it for a while. Take care of your vehicle. On-the-spot automotive detailing is a great gift as well. I've given it a number of times. People love this. You will. I do. Book online. It's all there for you. Ask them about their paint protection film and their ceramic coating as well. Voted best in the city because they're best in the city. On-the-spot automotive detailing at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Isotopes baseball tonight, this morning, right after the show. Josh Sushan, the voice of the Isotopes, will be with us at 9:45, and then it is the Topes and Comets. That's right, the Comets. That's right, the Comets. Oklahoma City is now the Comets. Put in your submission for the new ECHL hockey team. Go big on goat heads. Come on now, goat heads.
Gotta stuff the ballot
Does it have
box.
to be like desert goat heads or something like that? Or people that just like, it's got to say desert in it or dryness or
I would say look around
ice.
At recent team names, and not just in ECHL but minor league baseball, and you might get an idea of where that name could go.
Yeah. So that's coming up in a little bit. I'll give you the keyword for our backyard blow up, which is fantastic. It's $15,000 worth of backyard rehab. We'll do that coming up at 9:10 this morning. I've used the words, and I'm looking for, if you got better words, I'm absolutely open to them. I would love to hear them. The names I've given you are the words: improbable, implausible, and damn near impossible, what we watched last night. The Cavaliers' meltdown was, we've watched some unbelievable meltdowns. Oh, the other one was Memphis, dude. Well, wait, who's not Memphis? Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee, but
Milwaukee
in the Pacers.
Yeah,
against the Pacers.
Yeah, where Trent had the ball dropped right through his legs, and then that was it. We watched some epic meltdowns in the postseason. For every meltdown or every collapse, there's a comeback. For every comeback, there's a collapse, and there's a meter. And I think last night the Cavaliers, and I don't care that Mobley, Garland, and Hunter. At that point, I don't care that they weren't in. Like, if you'd have told me they lost by 12 points without those guys, yeah, that matters. But they were up, 8 with 50 seconds to go and didn't get another shot off. And just, they urinated down their leg. They just did. That was a collapse. The other improbable, implausible, damn near impossible thing. Going in, what were the Warriors, 6.5 point dogs last night? Is that all it was?
Yeah, plus 6.5, all over that.
Were you all over that?
But
see, I thought there was a chance they got blued out in this game because the fatigue factor. They played 2 nights prior, 7-game series, an older team going on the road
against that.
Yeah, no. Then I was watching the trend go absolutely the other way. No, you're right. You're right. Okay, so you were all over that, and I thought they
could cover that. Did I think that they'd win by double digits, and then Steph Curry goes up? No.
So they're up big in the first half. And Stephen Curry hits a 3. Stephen Curry looked good. Stephen Curry gets to the rim. Stephen Curry's limping. I'm like, dude, Steph Curry's hurt. What's going on? Stephen Curry played 13 minutes last night, scored 13 points. So let me give you this scenario. Warriors are on the road, game 1, 2 nights after playing game 7 in Houston. Now they're in Minneapolis against a fresh young team. Stephen Curry plays 13 minutes. He goes out early second quarter. He's done. He's not coming back. What's the score by the time the night's over? Well, it ain't 99-88 Golden State, is it?
No, it is not.
Except for it is. And that's where I don't know what's more implausible or impossible of those two. I will opt for this one. If you're going to tell me a young team blew a lead in the playoffs, okay. Well, Jeff, they got a veteran star in Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, but okay. A young team blew a lead in the playoffs and cracked under pressure. You're going to tell me the Warriors in that scenario without Steph Curry on the road against that good young brash team went out and not only won, but won in a gutsy win, man. Because, I mean, didn't you get the feeling the whole fourth quarter, here they're going to lose this game. Here comes Minnesota. They close it to 9. They close it to 7. Here they come. Oh, they're hitting shots. And then freaking not only Buddy Hield, but the shot Gary Payton hit out of the corner was just onions. Gary Payton Jr. had 8 points. Like Steve Kerr goes so deep into his bench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He played 7 dudes off the bench. They go 12 deep last night.
Yeah, they played 12 dudes.
12 dudes last night. Like Santos only played 4 minutes and Post played 6. But I mean, he doesn't care, which is somewhat the beauty of what makes him, I think, so good, Steve Kerr. But to find 26 minutes out of Gary Payton last night. Hell, the fact that Pat Spencer's in there when it matters tells you they were desperate. I'm going to guess, and Barkley said after the game, and I think he's probably right, because they won, there's no way you play Steph tomorrow, right? You sit him, if it's a hamstring, you sit him.
If it's a hamstring, I don't think he's can play.
And I don't know how bad it is, and they're going to do an MRI, right? Like that, he could be out for the series. There's a real chance he could be done.
This is one of those that, like, give me an ankle sprain, like something, not a
soft tissue
sprain.
Yeah. If you ever had a hamstring, you know how long they linger. And you can do treatment 24/7, and they will. But this is one of those. But when that happened, like, did you get the feeling the whole night, here they come?
Yeah, you're just waiting. Like, all right, Steph's out. Edwards going to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get back in their rhythm. It's times, the Warriors were still grinding so hard in that second half looking for offense, and yet they were able to always hit one more big shot. 5-point game, boom, someone would come down, hit a 3. Yeah. And Buddy Hield, this is a great example of under-the-radar moves, but there's certain teams you always have to pay attention to. And the Golden State Warriors, their culture, their style of play, you always have to pay attention to role players growing in Golden State. Buddy Hield is a legit shooter. Like, the dude is a next level 3-point shooter. Like, Buddy Hield, do you remember him in college? Like, before the Trae Young takeover, where we were watching Trae Young college games and it had a 3-point tracker on it. Like, Buddy Hield was that dude.
Yep.
Now, he was drafted as a star, never really got there, but he could shoot at a very high level. And you were looking at one, all right, you just need to find some consistency and also effort on the other end. And Buddy Hield absolutely looks like the lottery pick that Sacramento thought they were getting, 7-8 years ago? And all of a sudden he's draining threes, is giving you effort defensively, and a difference maker in this game. In the last 2 games, the Golden State Warriors do not win it. It's not Steph Curry. It's not Jimmy Butler. It's Buddy Hield.
Yeah, I agree. Can't agree with you more. He's averaging, almost 30 points a game, 28.5 points, 29 points a game over the last 2 games, 33 and 24. He was 5 of 8 from 3 points and at 24 points last night. He played 40 minutes, did Buddy freaking Hield. And he had 8 rebounds, by the way. And he played defense, by the way. Buddy Hield is playing the role. And again, please do not hear me saying he is this guy. Buddy Hield is playing the role of Klay Thompson. Correct?
Buddy Hield looks like Klay Thompson right now.
And I'm not saying he's a third splash
effort
brother.
defensively.
Yeah.
He is a AI generated splash brother right now.
What people forget before Clay's rash of injuries, Clay was a terrific defender. Like right next level defender, as well as being an elite shooter. Now Clay's in Dallas and he's, I don't want to say forgotten, but he's not there anymore. And Buddy Hield was strategically brought in to somehow try to fill that void. And his consistency has been, it's just been irregular. And it has been. He'd tell you that. And I don't know that you're getting another one out of him next game, but you got 2 in a row when you needed it. And the fact that Steph Curry goes down and Buddy Hield can step in and take 19 shots, 8 of them three-pointers, make 5 of his three-pointers and get out of there with 24 points. You're dead on. Buddy Hield was the difference. And was Jimmy Butler and was Stephen Curry. Draymond Green. Butler played 41 minutes, had 20 points, 11 rebounds, and was the steadying force. And I'm going to tell you, I thought Draymond was terrific yesterday. He's always good defensively. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Turned the ball over 4 times.
Dude, his offense has been the last 2. I know Buddy Hield's been the headline, but what Draymond has provided offensively is what you don't game plan for. You're like, all right, let this dude shoot threes. He's not going to score. And then he's in double digits.
Favorite quote of the night was Jimmy Butler after the game on TNT. What'd you learn? You guys came in here in game 1. What'd you learn about yourself? I learned Steph's our best player, and it's a lot easier to play when he's out there. It's perfect. Yeah, it was good. All right, where do you want me to go? All right, I got a break. If you're on the phone, stay there, please. 505-246-0610. We're going to get the phones when we get back. Your thoughts on what you saw last night. It was insane. It's just, and I'm going to tell you, these first round plus of the playoffs have been incredibly entertaining. And there's story after story every night. Really, really good stories every night. And we're in one now. It's the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Brought to you.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction Safety Company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller
Keyword coming up at 9:10 this morning. You can get a backyard blow up. Look, when I give you the keyword, text it to 505-246-0610. You get registered. You can win a hot tub from Valentine's Swimming Pool and Spa, an American Home Furniture and Mattress Plus patio set, a pottery set from Jackalope, a $5,000 gift card from Sinlawn, and an annual plan from AAA Pest Control. Prize pack is worth over $15,000 from The Sports Animal. How about that? Edward, thanks for holding. Good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. What's happening?
Well, good morning. Here we are in the Pacific Northwest with all this nice weather. I actually kind of like it.
You know what, dude? It's going to be plenty hot, plenty soon.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there's two things that went through my mind as I watched these playoff games, and we see kind of collapses. And I'm going to invoke something from Bill Belichick, and I've shared it with you guys before. And I actually share it with my other text thread with my buddies, and they get mad when I say it, but it gives you a healthy lens. Belichick said most games are lost and not won. Now, it's not about collapsing and choking. His emphasis was teams will do things and fundamentally not execute the basic things, which causes momentum to shift and you lose the game. And as you watch these games and you use that lens, it's abundantly accurate, right? I remember during a press conference, he was frustrated, and he said, we didn't lose the game because we got out-schemed. We lost the game because we couldn't block, tackle, pass, and catch. That's why we lost the game. And it holds true, right? And I think as you watch these games that unfold, the reason my friends get mad is because there's accuracy in it, and it bugs them. I do want to talk about Steph Curry. What we've seen is amazing, right? Clearly the best shooter we've ever seen, at least what I've ever seen. And I thought to myself, as a historian of the game, because I'm old, I'm chronologically advanced, I said, who does he remind me of? What's his best comp? It's not Kobe and LeBron and Jordan. That's not his comp. There's two people that resonated with me. One was Isaiah Thomas. Now, I think Curry's better all time than Thomas, but they're very comparable. Isaiah Thomas won a national championship with Indiana. Then he was the focal point of really a dynasty that beat the most amazing team in the 80s and in the late 80s, the Celtics and the Lakers. And Jordan never beat an Isaiah-led team in the playoffs. So he reminds me kind of Isaiah. And the second comparable is Pistol Pete Maravich. Now, Maravich averaged about 25 or 26 points per game in his career, but in college he averaged 44, and he was an absolute wizard on the court.
And there was no three-point line back in that day. There was no three-point line.
Yes, so Dale Brown, that was a good segue, Jeff. Dale Brown, who was the coach of LSU, went back to every game he played in college when he averaged 44, and he said we had three-point line from where he put shots up and scored, you know what his average would have been in college? 57 points per game, Pistol Pete Maravich. So when I look at Steph, he's clearly fringe top 10 all-time in my opinion, right? That's just my humble opinion. I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be wrong. But those are the top two comparables that I see. By the way, the Warriors are now 12-3 all-time when he doesn't play in the playoffs. Just a little stat for you.
Good.
Have a great day.
Right, so I don't know if the comp is Pete Maravich. I don't disagree that a lot of games are lost. It's perspective, right? For every collapse, there's a comeback, JJ. I mean, like, as bad as Cleveland was down the stretch, Halliburton and Siakam made shots, didn't they? Like, you put him in that position. Yeah. Halliburton, after he got the rebound, that jab step back three, had nothing to do with Cleveland necessarily, other than them letting him have the ball. I don't want to take all the credit away from Indiana, but dude, that collapse was palpable. It just was.
It was gigantic.
And I don't think, Belichick's wrong when he said that. I mean, yeah, games are lost all the time. You watch bad execution down the stretch. And that's why, people say, why well-coached teams, and I'm not putting this on the coach or anybody else. It's hard to put on Kenny Atkinson. Do they not practice situational issues or down in practice? Yeah, they do. I'm sure they've gone through every one of those things. Players make plays. Players don't make plays. It's hard for me now. You want to look at the Oklahoma City thing the other night. All right, I'll look at the coach there and question the strategy on the fouls. That one I will. But Aaron Gordon hit a shot, right? Aaron Gordon hit a shot, and Chet Holmgren missed 2 free throws. Chet Holmgren didn't, Aaron Gordon did. Players made plays. Chet Holmgren hits those 2 free throws. Oklahoma City wins. Why? Because they're going to foul again, and we're going to run out of time at some point playing this game. Right? But he didn't. Now, Mark Dagnall's got to take the hit because the strategy didn't work. But you know why the strategy didn't work? Because his players didn't make plays. Right? It's the way it all plays out. But I'm not arguing that. All right, when we come back, Cowboys made a trade this morning. Dallas Cowboys got a new receiver. Remember last week, Jerry Jones said, "Well, we're in the talks, and it's going to be a big one, and it's going to be, you're going to be excited about this. We got a player coming in, and we're working on all that mess." And then it sounded like yesterday it fell through. They pulled it off this morning. What they gave up, who they got, what it means. Cowboy fan, we got you, and we'll get into the NFL coming up next. 505-246-0610. Chasing rings, engagement rings, jewelry. John Thomas Jewelers is my jeweler. They will be yours as soon as you walk in the door at the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building right across the Coronado Mall. Why is John Thomas Jewelers my jeweler? Well, because they're the best. Because they will create anything you want. Because the pricing is incredibly competitive. Because they have the only free lifetime nationwide warranty available in Albuquerque. Because they got the ability to custom make anything you can dream of right there on premises in their state-of-the-art design center. Because, well, just go on and on. Walk in the door and you'll find out. Whether it's rings, pendants, watches. They took care of my watch recently and fixed it up for me. It was having some problems. I bought stud earrings there. They were a great gift. You will love what they've got. Over 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings on hand right now for you to see and try on. And if you don't see what you like exactly, they'll walk you through the process and they'll help you create it. A lot of times you go in, I don't know what I want. That, but not that. Okay, they'll put it together for you. See why they're the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. The fastest growing jeweler in New Mexico 3 straight years, and voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 years in a row. John Thomas Jewelers even voted the coolest jewelry store by In-Store Magazine. So many reasons to see for yourself why John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in Albuquerque. They're mine. They will be yours as well. Visit them on Louisiana, 1 block south of Banal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Off-season disaster that so many people want to paint them out to be. They draft really well. They draft smart.
They do.
An offensive lineman and an edge rusher who some people had graded as one of those guys that should go maybe late first round, but get him in the second. Like, you start in the trenches. That's where you win. And this is an offseason in which, what did they need? Well, they needed to revamp their running back room. They did. They needed a number 2 weapon. They got a very good one in George Pickens. They added pieces at defense. And now you look at, all right, Dak Prescott on the field. Can you lead a group that it's a solid base and play like the quarterback that they paid you to be?
You like the way they revamped the running back room with Javonte Williams?
Yeah, because it's cheap, and you can try to get something out of those guys early. They got another one of those small but speedy backs in Jadon Blue out of Texas, who's he'll pop a little bit, but it really comes down to leaning into that offensive line, getting the big guy out of Arkansas in the first round. I love drafting offensive linemen early. Like, it's get the quarterback, protect the quarterback, or get to the quarterback. And with what Dallas wants to do, and if you want a little bit of pressure off Dak Prescott, well, then you need to build the offensive line, you need the running game. And is it a great running back room? No. But it's revamped. The passing game should be good. And then you look at Dak and go, all right, man, get healthy and see what you can do.
Yeah, I think I'm over Javonte Williams. I I don't ever see him break a tackle. I don't know that I think he's got the speed to be a number one back. And Miles Sanders feels like he's a little bit past it for me. This feels like, let's hope one of these guys who are on, and I don't want to say the back end because I think they're both still young. Can we get by with 2 okay running backs? And maybe the answer is yes, right? Maybe the answer is yeah, we can get by with 2 okay running backs. And that's why they went out and they go late for a running back. I don't know. I agree with you on the offensive line. I like getting offensive linemen early because that means usually when you do that, you have a staple for 12 years, right? You got a guy that's going to be there for 10, 12 years if you pay him, and it's going to be good. I think they addressed a big issue here. I think they went out. Look, I think when I look at their depth chart and I say, all right, you paid your quarterback, whether as a fan you're into Dak Prescott or not, they are. So they're convinced. They've got a pretty good 1-2 punch now in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. You throw me in at Jalen Tolbert and Kevontae Turpin, and I don't know if Jonathan Mingo can ever become something. I mean, he's got the size. They gave up, a 4th-round pick for him last year, right? I'm fine there. I think Jake Ferguson and Luke Shoemaker are really good 1-2 tight end. You've got weapons. I don't love your running game, but you've got weapons to be good offensively. I don't know if you're good enough, but it's going to depend on quarterback play and can you run the ball at all?
And that's really something they want to lean into.
The running game?
Yep.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're good enough there. I don't know that I think that. All right, there's a couple other NFL stories. The Shedeur Sanders thing is not going away. And you're like, why, Jeff? Like, can he just go to camp? Yeah, no, he can't. He can't. When we come back, I'm going to give you a story of the lawsuits are lawsuits, right? And there's lawyers everywhere. And I don't know where John Doe comes from. I don't even know if he knows Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to guess he doesn't. A fan is suing the NFL for a lot of money. I'm doing my Trump now. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. That's a lot of money. Does he know Alex Ovechkin's Russian, by the way? This one's bizarre. We're going to get there. Coming up at 9:45, Josh Sushan's going to join us from Oklahoma City. It is the Isotopes and the Oklahoma City Comets. Coming up right after our show, so we'll talk to Josh, who was at the Thunder game the other night, too. I want to get his experience of Game 1 between the Nuggets and the Thunder. Got the keyword for our backyard blow-up coming up for you at 9:10 this morning. 9:10 this morning, so stay with us for that. Thank you for being with us. It's a lot to do on a Wednesday morning after the hoops that we got to see last night. It was unreal. Love hearing your thoughts on it. 505-246-0610. And what one national publication said about the hiring of Eric Olin. It's all coming up next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
And the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, impossible and improbable, implausible, I mean, whatever it is. You watched two NBA games last night with silly finishes. Or at least silly results. One with an ultimate collapse with the Indiana Pacers throwing the ball away, not blocking out, allowing tip dunks. I mean, just what? And losing game two and going down 2-0 as the top seed in the East. And then Steph Curry going out with a hamstring, and Lord knows how long he's going to be out. And this is a bigger story than just yesterday. But he leaves in the second quarter, and his team, the Golden State Warriors, still win on the road by double digits, 99-88, taking game one of that Western Conference semifinal in Minneapolis last night. Cowboys have reached a deal for George Pickens, so the wide receiver goes from Pittsburgh to Dallas. And you're locked into the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Biggest story, I guess it's what's your sport and what's your team. The biggest story to me is, boy, I don't know. The Pickens story is big if you're a Cowboy fan. It's a big football story, right?
It's a very big football story.
What does it do for the Cowboys? As far as what it like, does it change your opinion of them in that division? Are they still the third best team in that division?
It doesn't change my opinion of them in that division. It actually, to me, it puts more pressure on Dak Prescott. Because, all right, there's no questions in the passing game. You can have some questions about the running back room, discuss, are they going to be able to create enough with the veteran running backs, and can they find a spark out of the rookie from Texas, who reminds me of some of the backs we've had over the last few years, smaller guys, but can be explosive. So I think they could be something solid there this season with Jadon Blue in the backfield. But there's no excuses if you're Dak Prescott. I know that the offseason with Schottenheimer, it's all been about the run game, the physicality, setting the tone. Okay, but the plays downfield, no excuse for that passing game.
I think that's probably right. All right, you're welcome to get in today. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Your emails come in, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ sportsanimalabq.com. All right, we all remember the draft. You all remember, I mean, hell, if you didn't watch it, you can't be in America and not know Shedeur Sanders dropped to the 5th round, right? You can't have a Twitter feed or watch any news program or whatever. And so it was frustrating if you were a Shedeur fan. If you were a Sanders disliker, you maybe were entertained by it. Were you frustrated and disappointed and psychologically harmed? Nah, you were not. Or were you? Or were you? There is a lawsuit. One fan is suing the National Football League, JJ, for punitive damages, quote, for the harm caused to the plaintiff and the impact of the NFL's actions on his emotional well-being, end quote, due to Shedeur Sanders' slide in the draft. The Shedeur Sanders isn't suing the NFL. Did you see how much this plaintiff is suing for? $100 million. In this lawsuit, John Doe, because why wouldn't he be John Doe? I mean, he's been so beat up emotionally and so harmed psychologically that he sure as hell doesn't want people coming at him on Twitter and knowing who he is. So in the lawsuit, John Doe, or Mr. Doe, says he is a dedicated fan of the Colorado Buffaloes. He's closely followed Shedeur over the past couple of college football seasons. And the plaintiff claims that the reports and the leaked statements suggesting that Sanders tanked his interviews and he wasn't prepared and he was too cocky, all these things that have come out as to why Shedeur slid, helped create a narrative that, quote, unjustly, end quote, harmed his reputation. And these, and I'm using quotes again here because this is straight out of the complaint. Slanderous statements, end quote. Now, we'll keep the quote going. Slanderous statements caused emotional distress and trauma to the plaintiff as a fan and a consumer, end quote. I mean, please tell me this doesn't get heard. Please just tell me this gets thrown out. The plaintiff alleges several claims against the NFL. He alleges the violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act, which is collusion amongst NFL teams, violation of the Civil Rights Act, international infliction of emotional distress and trauma, and violations of consumer protection laws. In addition, John Doe doesn't just want $100 million. Oh, no. No, he wants a formal acknowledgement from the National Football League regarding the emotional distress caused by their actions and statements. He wants a retraction of the slanderous statements made about Shedeur Sanders, along with an apology for any harm caused to Shedeur's reputation. Dude, is he working on behalf of Shedeur? He wants implementation of fairer practices in the drafting process to ensure that talented players are recognized and given opportunities based on merit. And he wants any additional remedies the court deems appropriate, including compensatory damages. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I want to punch holes in all of this. Don't you?
So this is, and I saw it put this way, a prank call to a lawsuit. Like so if Sanders is getting pranked, this is a prank. Like this is an elaborate ruse. This is someone that they have to be doing this for whatever segment and or like little run they can get out of it, because there is nothing in this that anyone would take seriously. Like, so someone sat down, spent the time, went through this to try to make it a thing, but I feels more like, hey, we're making this a thing for buzz and clicks versus knowing you're actually going to get any money, because you're not.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like somebody in a law class, basically, like there's a project or there's an assignment. Hey, come up with a lawsuit that you might, just come up with something that might be crazy, but you might be able to win. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like a project. Because as I look through the whole thing, I mean, it's how do you prove collusion? He got drafted. So we're going to collude until we're all going to agree Cleveland's going to take him after they take another quarterback in the 5th round. How do you say they're slanderous if in fact they're true? If in fact the Giants, that was one of the teams where this came from, said that he was unprepared, that he was too cocky, that he tanked the interviews, when in fact Shador at one point said, I don't want to go to the Giants. How do you, and then somehow there's $100 million worth of distress to a Colorado fan? How do you equate the distress to you if you're claiming that it was all unfair and it was collusion, it was violated all of these? It's a joke. Tell me it's a freaking joke. It's got to be, right? A joke.
Okay. Like, it's put together, it's worded professionally.
Okay.
But that's not going anywhere.
Please?
Like, so someone that wasn't involved in it can claim like they were affected that bad? Like,
I got a Colorado hoodie, so I'm affected by it.
Yeah. You said it feels like a college, like,
doesn't it?
Like 100%. Something along those lines of just, all right, and we knows these things to throw it in there to make it sound good, but it's not going to go anywhere. Like, really?
Yeah, it almost feels like an assignment that was turned in, and it's like, you know what? Hey, no, this is, and the professor, oh, that was very good. And this, well, you have a point here and a point here. Wow, what would happen if you actually filed this? And oh, you know what? I'm gonna let's see what happens. Let me see. And I don't even know if you need, can you, like, do you need a lawyer to file this, or do you get maybe a sponsoring? I mean, there's got to be an attorney that filed this. It's just everything you read in it is bonkers. And then the kicker is, oh, by the way, give me $100 million because I sat on the couch and I was stressed, and it caused me psychological harm watching Shador slide. I'm a dedicated fan of the Buffaloes. I've followed Shador over the past season, and the reports of the leaked statement suggesting that he tanked the interviews caused emotional distress and trauma to me. I'm a fan and I'm a consumer, and I was caused $100 million worth of emotional distress and trauma. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? But this is our world? I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? Every shot you don't take, you miss. You think this guy's sitting back there going, what if I win? What if they give me 10 million? What if I win? If you win, they're going to give you $1. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is one of those where
like the cost of everything might be more than what you get out of it.
Yeah, this is. I don't know if this would be a jury trial or if this would, but if I'm looking at this and I got you up there and you're crying. First of all, I'm saying get a life. I mean, honestly, I know a lot of really dedicated fans for their programs. What if Donovan Dent slipped and didn't get picked and Lobo fans sued? Oh, wait, UCLA fan.
It might be UCLA fans.
Yeah. I mean, this is just such a ruse to me. But it's real. But it's happening. But it's out there. Guy wants $100 million. All right, then. Good luck to you. 505-240. I do too, by the way. Put me on the lawsuit. What the hell? 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. NBA conference finals are going to tip off soon. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs. You can watch all of it at Twin Peaks. You catch every moment. Wall-to-wall TVs, 29-degree drafts, an atmosphere made for the serious fan. Coming up later this month, May 25th, you can switch gears, or you probably could still watch hoops that day. It's National Wine Day. That's not W-H-I-N-E. That's W-I-N-E. Ask a Twin Peaks girl for a pour of your favorite red or white. You can celebrate Vino Lodge style. And if you're hungry late, grab a hand-stretched flatbread for just $8. They got them there from 10 o'clock to close, Sunday through Thursday. From hoops to wine, Twin Peaks has you covered in May. And voting is live right now for Miss Twin Peaks 2025. It's Miss Popular. Head over to 2025misstwinpeaks.com. Now through June 9th, you can cast your votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl. Then, not only is it National Wine Day, it's World Whiskey Day coming up on May 17th. Try a new favorite, stick with a classic. It's all served over a crystal clear ice ball, of course. And if you want something exclusive, ask about Twin Peaks Rare Bourbons. Their barrel selects. It's available in limited supply. It's great whiskey, even better company, and it's all waiting for you at Twin Peaks.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
505-246-0610 if you would like to play radio with us tonight. He is J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us. You listen to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Coming up at 9:10 this morning. Give the keyword for the backyard blow up. You can text that to 505-246-0610. And you can get in on the $15,000, the opportunity to win that whole backyard blow up. Hey, are you familiar with SB Nation's Mid-Major Madness? Is that something? It's they follow college basketball and post a lot of social media stuff. So, what's the date on this? Is it yesterday where I saw this? It is yesterday. And Steve, thank you. I did see this, and thank you for sharing the link with me, but I had seen this and was on the list for today. So they've got a column that came out that was written by Sam Feldman, who's one of the writers. And it said, these are the 3 best mid-major coaching hires in the 2025 cycle. And as you know, the coaching cycle was a lot of movement. How many schools in the Mountain West made a change? Did Fresno State end up making a change? They did not, right? So was it just Colorado State and New Mexico? And Utah State? No, Utah State kept their coach. So it was just those 2 in the Mountain West? I believe that's
UNLV.
Right. Oh, and UNLV. Yeah, Josh Pastor went there. All right, so the sub-headline is 3 schools outperform the rest in the offseason coaching carousel. Have you seen this?
I did.
Okay. And it talks about the Division I programs, 41. And anything considered mid-major is not a power league, right? So obviously SEC, Big 10, Big 12, and ACC. And then in basketball, the Big East is considered power, right? Where Richard Pitino went over to Xavier. So everybody else, the other 26 mid-major leagues, 21 of the 26 mid-major leagues have a new head coach. 41 programs change coaches at that level. And it talks about the different coaches and there were assistants getting their first shots. But it says 3 hires, according to this author or this writer, that stood out from the rest. He said the 3 I'm most excited about are all programs who hire Division I head coaches away from other programs. He said, after all, the best way of knowing if someone's going to be a good Division I basketball coach is if they're already a good Division I basketball coach, which makes sense. He said those aren't the only 3 programs that made good hires, but he said they were the best. The 3rd best was South Florida hiring Brian Hodgson. The 2nd best was Samford getting Lenny Acuff. And the number 1 hire, according to this story in Mid-Major Madness, was New Mexico's hire of Eric Olin. I think Global fans kind of needed a little out-of-market affirmation on this, don't you? Obviously, the proof's going to be in the pudding. You're going to see what happens as you go down the line. I'll give you some of the reasons why Sam Feldman believes that Eric Olin was the best of the mid-major hires. But I want to start there. I really feel Lobo fan needed out-of-market affirmation that this was a good hire.
Eric Olin is very respected in the college basketball world with the college basketball writers, people that cover the sport. And for Lobo fans, you got spoiled with a superstar name, Pitino, in college basketball. Whether you're talking about Richard, which always comes back to Rick. It doesn't matter what was going on. It was about Rick Pitino and Richard. So you had a superstar brand, and then the expectations. the players, the winning. And then you did a complete 180 on that. You went from college basketball, just stardom, just, whoa, the Patinos and the connection and playing St. John's to UC San Diego.
A guy you'd never heard of. I will double down on that. Two of your last three coaches were somewhat college basketball royalty, right? While the Alford name might not be Pitino in the coaching ranks, Steve Alford is connected to Bob Knight very tightly, who is as big a name as Pitino is, if not bigger, and was a spectacular player. He was. He was a star player. He was a gold medalist, right? All those things. And then you had that success. So I'll double down on that, on what you were saying. You're 100% right. So I'm going to read you some of what Sam Feldman says about Eric Olin. But again, I just think it almost was like a sigh of relief. And I didn't read a lot of the comments. I read some of them from Lobo Fan, and it was like validation. Okay, our dude's okay. It's not just us who think he's good, but okay. The guy from Mid-Major Madness thinks, and we won out of the 41 teams that are, we made the best hire. Right? Didn't you feel that too?
Yeah, there's always looking for the extra with a higher player that you sign.
Yeah. All right. The article reads, the buzzing mid-major team throughout much of the latter half of 24-25 was UC San Diego. The Tritons, in just their fifth season in Division I basketball and first season eligible for the NCAA tournament, won 30 games, won 18-2 in the Big West, pushed Michigan to the brink of the first round of March Madness. If I told you somebody about this season's UCSD team when Olin took over the job in 2013, they couldn't possibly have believed you. And he talked about how the program was coming off losing seasons when Olin got there. They were outside the top 5 of its Division II conference, right? And Eric Olin was there for all that. He worked as an assistant. The coach then was Bill Carr. Then it was Chris Carlson. But when Olin took over, he elevated to new heights, and he got the head job, and he oversaw the transition to Division I. In their first year of Division I, they had a winning season. In year 2, they were top 5 of the conference. In year 3, the NCAA tournament. Talks about 2019-2020, their final season at Division II, they were 30-1. They contended for the national championship. That was the COVID year. How about that year in San Diego basketball? I think the Aztecs were 30-2, and UC San Diego was 30-1. Remember the COVID year? That was the year the Aztecs were going to get a 1 or a 2 seed. Do you remember that?
I do.
How about that year in San Diego basketball? That's kind of crazy. But it goes on and it talks about how it took Eric Olin a few years to get UC San Diego rolling at the Division I level. They finished second in 23-24 season, and then they won the league. But he says it's not just wins and losses that make Eric Olin an impressive hire. It's the way he's able to evaluate talent and recruit to his scheme. 4 of UC San Diego's 5 starters were Division II transfers, and they come from all over the place. He's a proven winner at multiple levels of college basketball at just 44 years old, and will continue to win plenty of games in Albuquerque. So that's what it says about it. I share this with you because A, I think you need it. B, because it's out there and it's good content, and you tend to dwell on the negative sometimes. And there is a national publication that I think is respected, don't you? I mean, SB Nation and its Mid-Major Madness is a pretty respected site. Don't you agree? It's reputable.
It's one where if you're looking to get in the game, that's where you start.
Yeah. All right. And it's I think an unbiased, fair, and positive in this case. And I would share it to you if it said it was the worst, right? But in this case, it had you as the best hire. I think it's a reputable look from a impartial, out of market, nothing to gain by writing this writer who follows college basketball on a national level. So take it for whatever it's worth. You feel better? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. But Steve, thanks for sharing that. I'd seen that yesterday, and I wanted to give that to you. I want to read this one. All right, this is fair because Carl just dug something up. And he says, let me take you back to what the experts were saying about Craig Neal when he was hired. And again, you're right. As far as, these things, they don't matter until you get there and prove it and we'll know.
Craig Neal also wasn't a head coach.
He wasn't. So
I look at Eric Olin, and the X's and O's are not questioned by anyone. The style of play works at a Division I level.
Yeah.
Had a team with a chance to win an NCAA tournament game. Now you have that with a collective that's investing in players. So you're having different conversations. You're still getting guys that you want for your system, but potentially a different level of athlete to bring in. And that's what's so hard to compare any of this stuff. Like, I can't look back at a Paul Weir hire, a Craig Neal hire, and try to directly compare it to this because the game has changed so much.
But this is really good. When we come back.
Yeah, it's probably, is it like some glowing reference?
No. The content in here. So he just sent me, and who sent me this? I'm gonna thank you for this. Carl, you did some research on this. I want to dive into this story. This is dated May 3rd, 2013. Okay. So that is almost 12 years ago to the day. And it rates the new hires in Division I hoops. Hired that cycle with Richard Pitino at Minnesota, Craig Neal at New Mexico, Tubby Smith at Texas Tech, Steve Alford at UCLA, Andy Enfield at USC, Bobby Hurley at Buffalo, Reggie Theus at Cal State. I want to get into all this and look at it because it's a totally fair response, right? This is like you rating the draft. You don't know the draft. Ask me 2 years later, and so it's fair. I just want to look backwards because we always say let's look back when we have the proof. So we're going to do that. We're gonna look at receipts next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Brought to you by Lazy.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
All right, this is interesting stuff. Like, we talk all the time about, let's get receipts later. You know, is it a good hire? Is it a not good hire? Is it a good draft pick? Is it a good trade? I don't know. We won't know until later, right? Rocky Long used to say it all the time when he would come on signing day, and we talk about it all the time. You know, judge a signing class 2 years from now. Well, in college you can't do it anymore. You got to judge it next year because it changes every year. But, you know, as far as your draft class, let's see what happens in 2 years, right? It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. JJ Buck and Jeff Symbieta. Just gave you a headline and a story. Read you some of it. That came out yesterday. It's SB Nation, and it said that the New Mexico hire of Eric Olin was the best hire of the 41 mid-major schools who changed coaches in this cycle. Great stuff. Great news. Now, what does it mean? It means you're getting a little accolades, a little pub. Maybe it makes you feel good, but let's see what happens. And so Carl sent me a note and a link, and I appreciate it, basically saying, yeah, but. And I'm, all right, cool. And he sent me a story that Jeff Goodman, who's still a really good writer, wrote 12 years and 4 days ago, May 3rd, 2013. It's crazy who was in that coaching cycle, right?
This one's awesome.
And he said, all right, take a look at this. And he said, that was 43 jobs in all of Division I that year, which makes this year a really busy cycle. He said, and he didn't rank them, he gave them all grades. And notable names who got hired in that cycle: Craig Neal, Richard Pitino, Steve Alford, Reggie Theus. All in that same cycle. Bobby Hurley. Now, here's what he said about New Mexico. And I'll go back to this, JJ, and I will still stand firm on this. And I understand how the Craig Neal thing played out. I can't sit here and tell you if I was the athletic director, I'd have made a different hire. I thought Craig Neal was the right hire at that time. And I think you agree with me, right?
Yes, that was one where they were balancing losing that roster versus, do we do a search to see if there's someone else?
Right.
And it was, hey, let's run it back.
And there was a lot of pressure from alumni and supporters for Craig Neal, right? Steve was leaving. Craig had earned his shot. Goodman gave the hire a B. He said, Craig Neal's been Steve Alford's right-hand man for years, helped turn the Lobos back into a program that's been nationally relevant. This is what I tell you, 12 years ago? Neal was spurned the last couple of years in his attempts to get a head coaching gig, but this has worked out about as well as possible. Alford heads to UCLA. Neal takes over a team that could be favored to win the Mountain West again. There are high expectations these days in Albuquerque, but this was the right hire by administration. Grade was a B. Remember, they did win the Mountain West that first year. They did. Now, we all know how it worked out. All right. Steve went to UCLA. He gave that a B-. That's what he said about Alford. Steve Alford, it's difficult to justify bringing someone with just a single Sweet 16 appearance in 18 seasons between Southwest Missouri State, Iowa, and New Mexico to replace Ben Howland, who was fired despite 3 straight Final Fours. However, Brad Stevens and Shaka Smart both politely declined, and Alford is well-liked by the top AAU guys on the West Coast. Alford will also have the benefit of a state that's loaded with young talent, B-. How'd that review play out? Kind of right on. They went to some Sweet 16s. He got good talent. Didn't live up to UCLA standards. Got fired. You know who else was hired in that cycle, JJ? Richard Pitino was hired in that cycle. Isn't it crazy? I mean, so the cycle shows you how many years, like they run concurrent, don't they? Minnesota hired Richard Pitino. Jeff Goodman, 12 years ago, gave that hire a B+. Here's what they said of Richard Pitino 12 years ago. What a bit of a stretch, ? Sure. Little Richard. Well, if he's 41 now, he was, 29? Little Richard has only been a head coach for 1 season. And we all know he would not have gotten the FIU gig a year ago if not for his last name. Damn. However, Richard Pitino quickly proved himself by winning 18 games in a program left in complete disarray by Isaiah Thomas. I had forgotten about that. And then he talked about how, they listened to Billy Donovan before. Billy Donovan recommended Pitino. They got Shaka Smart. So we'll see. It's a B+. I mean, he was fine there for a while. They went to the NCAA tournament. It's really interesting looking back at this, though, right? Tubby Smith got a C- at Texas Tech. That didn't work. USC hired Andy Enfield in that same cycle, got a B-. Buffalo hired Bobby Hurley, got an A-. That did really well for them. Cal State Northridge, Reggie Theus. They gave it a B-. Former Aggie coach. He's been trying to get back into the college game for the last few years after being fired by the Sacramento Kings after 106 games at the helm. He's been an NBA assistant, even an NBDL head coach since being let go by the Maloof brothers. He did lead New Mexico State to the NCAA tournament in 2007. Also spent time as an assistant with Rick Pitino at Louisville. It'll be interesting to see whether he can get the Matadors back to the NCAA tournament after the program has been downtrodden for the last few years. Didn't work, did it? You get a B-. Probably was a B- job.
No.
Remember I told you I went to a game. He had me there. He set me up there one time at the Matadome when I was in town. That was actually really cool. Joe Dooley, the former Lobo assistant, was in that same cycle at Florida Gulf Coast. Nico Medved got his first job in that cycle at Furman. They gave him a B. He was at Colorado State the last bunch of years, just got the job at Minnesota. Dan Marley was hired in that same cycle at Grand Canyon. They gave that a B. Boy, look at just some of the names in that cycle. But as you look back, and now you're able to say, all right, now you can actually put a grade on it and see.
Oh yeah, how those worked out.
Brad Underwood got hired at Stephen F. Austin in that cycle. It's crazy, you know. I've been just saying, well, you know, what are we looking at 12 years from now? Now, I appreciate this little look back in history. This was good. I think it puts things into perspective. 505-246-0610. How do you feel about your coach being named the best hire of the 41 non-power jobs? It's pretty good for you, but we'll see where it goes. Hey, who's watching your home when you're up there? I always suggest you take a look and maybe hire International Protective Service. They protect my home. It's affordable private security. They've been watching my home for years. If you've been the victim of property crime, you get it. If you haven't been, you know someone who has been. Not enough officers to cover all the calls they get for service, and it takes a long time for police to come out. IPS responds within 5 to 7 minutes, typically with armed trained security officers. They've got officers all over Albuquerque strategically placed. Now in Santa Fe, they react quickly. IPS provides standing guards if you need eyes on your property around the clock. They'll install alarms and camera systems. State-of-the-art facility monitors those cameras 24/7. It all raises the level of security around your property. So who's watching your home when you're not there? Look, don't wait to be a victim. At that point, it's just too late. Be proactive on this one and protect what you've worked so hard to build, your property, your business. IPS's number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They are online at ipsglobal.com.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub.
An interesting look back 12 years ago at the coaching hire, the coaching cycle, and how it, I mean, obviously, you know, the same cycle that had Alford was going to have Craig Neal. I mean, duh. But Richard Pitino was in that same one. Nico Medved was in that same cycle. Reggie Theus, Bobby Hurley. I mean, it's just kind of crazy how it's all tied together sometimes, too. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. Jeff and JJ, it says on here from Mike, do you know of any of last year's Lobos will be back on the local basketball team this year? Like, are any Lobo, like every single player on the Lobo roster? The only one that, Daraje, I believe, has not transferred, but is he on the roster? But everybody's gone, right? Every single player is gone from last year's team. Like Daniel Thomas, I believe they just helped him get a scholarship as well. But
it's
no,
100% turnover.
Yeah, I believe it to be the only one that might be, but I don't believe is going to be back. Is Daraje, and I believe he'd be in the portal, trying to find a spot. He's coming back from that shoulder surgery. But as I look at the roster. Yeah, I mean it's 100% turnover. Yeah, everybody's gone. 505-246-0610. I don't know that I find that to be insanely crazy. By the way, do you?
Not anymore.
I mean, Indiana, Baylor. There's a number of schools that have had complete turnovers. All right, if you want to get in on the hoops last night, it was spectacular, stunning, improbable, implausible, impossible. It was wild. Warriors 99-88 over the Timberwolves. Steph Curry goes out early second quarter hamstring. Have you seen anything? I mean, he's not going to play tomorrow, right? I mean, to your point on a hamstring, it's not an ankle. It's not something you just tape up. A hamstring is a lingering soft tissue issue. He will get the best treatment 24/7. Do you feel like they've got a cushion because they stole that game? Like they can almost afford.
But I don't think it. The only way to look at this is an extended injury.
Right. But if this was one of those where I could play, but I could use the extra 2 days, you take the extra 2 days, right?
Yes.
I mean, 100% because you won. And I keep watching to see some sort of an update. It's, 9 o'clock almost here, so it's 10 o'clock in Minnesota. But the status is unclear. Steve Kerr, after the game, said, we're planning to play for him to not be available. He says, with a hamstring, it's hard to imagine that he would play. And that's just one of those, the non-contact injuries are the ones, too. Kerr said, quote, I talked to Steph at halftime. He's obviously crushed. The guys picked him up, played a great game. Obviously, we're all concerned about Steph, but it's part of the game. Guys get hurt, you move on. Our guys did a great job of moving on and getting a great win 48 hours after a Game 7 road win. It's an amazing group of guys. They compete. They're together. They've been the best defense in the league since the Jimmy trade, and that's what's keeping us afloat right now. End quote. You can talk all you want about the threes, and they're vital. And what Buddy Hield did and the shot that Gary Payton hit, he's so right, though, dude. Their defense has been spectacular. Jimmy Butler is good. But for a team that does not have a quote-unquote rim protector, right, they don't have that big dude back there. And I saw the numbers, how they're getting outscored in the paint as opposed to how they're outscoring their opponents on the perimeter. They're extraordinary that they're winning the way in which they're winning.
Yeah, you rack your mind sometimes trying to figure out certain things with that squad and piecing it together. A lot of it is, again, you go back to leaning on experience, been there, done that, and stuff that works.
Yeah. So they win in probably 99-88. I'd love your thoughts on that. More so, the Cavaliers' meltdown. They lose at home 120-119 after being up with 50 seconds to go by 3 possessions. And melt it down. Offensive foul, thrown away inbounds pass, allowed offensive rebounds, putbacks. I mean, what? Got the backyard blow up coming up. I'll give you the keyword at 9:10. Josh Sushon, the voice of the Isotopes, is going to join us from Oklahoma City. That's coming up at 9:45. We're going to be followed today by Isotopes baseball against the Oklahoma City Comets. Love to hear from you today at 505-246-0610. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and
Extend the sports animal. Here's Jeff Zimbietta and JJ Buck.
Big night last night, crazy night last night. The hockey playoffs were crazy, but boy, the hoops is insane. What a night in Ohio. The Cavaliers, the top seed in the East, were up all night long. They played without Mobley, Garland, and Hunter. 3 lottery picks, 3 big pieces of what they do. And yet they were up all night on the Pacers. They had a 3-possession lead with 50 seconds to go. They're ready to even their series at 1 apiece, headed back down to Indianapolis, and they barfed all over themselves. Offensive foul. Thrown away inbounds pass. Don't box out a couple of times and allow putbacks. And Tyrese Halliburton with a step-back dagger 3. Good night now. The Pacers are up 2-0 going back home after beating the number 1 seed in the East. 120-119 stunner. Meanwhile, in Minneapolis, Stephen Curry played 13 minutes, scored 13 points, and then hamstring. Don't know how long he's going to be out, but he was done for the day. The Warriors must be done. Oh, no. Not 2 days after completing a Game 7 in Houston and flying up there. Oh, no. They get Buddy Hield's 24 points and 20 and 11 out of Jimmy Buckets. Playoff Jimmy's real. 99-88. The Warriors know how to win. They go on the road and win game one. 99-88. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Hockey last night. The Oilers were down. JJ, what's the most dangerous lead in sports?
2-goal lead.
In the National Hockey League, correct? I tuned in initially, and the Vegas Golden Knights at home were up 2-0. That was 2-1 at the first intermission. And then the Oilers from Edmonton, who have been just silly in the playoffs, score 3 goals in the third period, beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2. That's a 2-goal lead at the end, JJ. It's nice to have it when there's no time left. Hurricanes over the Capitals in the other game last night in the National Hockey League, 2-1. So Carolina leads that series 1-0. What's the most alarming? Like, what's the biggest story out of the NBA last night? Because I go back to 2 nights ago, and I'm like, all right, what's the biggest story? And the answer is yes. I mean, and I guess it depends on your geography and your fandom and what matters most. But was it a bigger story that the Knicks came back from 20 down and were able to take game 1 in Boston, or that the Nuggets won the way they won over the 1 seed in the West? And the answer is yes, and it feels the same way last night.
Yeah, the answer is all the above. In second round postseason basketball, what we saw, the collapse of the Cavaliers. In fact, Minnesota could not click it into gear against a depleted Warrior team that dug deep. Steve Kerr played 12 players off the bench, just throwing all kinds of different combinations out there, but then seeing what you're getting from Buddy Hield the last 2 games, that Draymond is not an offensive liability, which is huge the last 2 games, because he'll come back down to earth. Because, for them, it's what level of grind can they get to? Because if you can say, all right, now you're looking 20 points from Buddy Hield, a Jimmy Butler game, and just defend your backside off. This is a Minnesota team that, yes, Anthony Edwards can take it to that next level. But Julius Randle was MIA last night. He was the second best player for them in that series against the Lakers. He has to be consistent. And then it's options that if you're Golden State, even without Steph Curry, you feel that you can make this a series. You can put Minnesota on their heels, because if you can make sure Anthony Edwards doesn't have one of those gigantic games, you can stay in this without Steph Curry.
Anthony Edwards struggled from the field much of the night, 9 of 22 last night, but he did end up with 23 points and got hot in the second half. I mean, that game had a feel of, wow, this is a really cute run by Golden State, but a better, younger team is going to win at the end. And every time Minnesota made a run, and they made runs, midway, latter fourth quarter, Golden State had an answer. Whether it was Jimmy Butler from mid-range, Buddy Hield for 3, Gary Payton. The shot Gary Payton hit out of the left corner, I thought was gigantic. That got him back to 11 with about 3 minutes to go. I thought that was the dagger. But they're getting it from dudes. Draymond's been just so different. So different. He's terrific. He's elite defensively. And to get 18 points out of him on 6 of 13 shooting, give it to me. They're giving him the 3. 4 out of 10. Jeff, he missed 6 shots. You know what? I got a dude shooting 40% from 3. I'm letting him shoot a few. Right? Aren't you? If Steph Curry shoots 40%, you feel pretty good.
Yep.
If Draymond Green shoots 40%, you should feel the same damn way. Look, they got a puncher's chance because they got Steph Curry. Well, they don't have Steph Curry. Do they have a puncher's chance? I tell you, I think they still do. I agree with you. I think without Steph Curry, Minnesota wins the series, right? I thought with Steph Curry, Minnesota wins the series. So there's not even a concept of an argument that Golden State's better without Steph Curry. So if you think Minnesota was going to win the series without Steph Curry, without him for an extended period of time or any period of time, how could you think Minnesota's not going to win? Well, does it change your opinion watching Golden State win game 1 in Minneapolis? Maybe? No? So you're still Minnesota too, right?
Because you have to wait and see with injuries. You can't just make an assumption. But think that's something that's going to linger. That's just not going to be like, oh, 2 extra days, you're going to get soft tissue injury. Now, maybe Golden State dodged a bullet, but I think over the course of a 7-game series, Minnesota can find a way if Steph Curry's not there.
I think you're probably right. All right, so there have been 5 games played in the NBA's second round. These are conference semifinals. New York wins in Boston. Indiana has won twice in Cleveland. The Warriors win in Minnesota. The Nuggets win in Oklahoma City. All 5 games have been won by the road team. How many of the teams that do not have home court advantage, okay, theoretically the underdogs, do you believe will win the series? That means the Knicks, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Pacers. How many of those 4 do you believe will win the series? They're all up in the series right now.
I'm confident about one.
Right?
And the others, there wasn't a major feeling where I looking at Boston, right? You had a disastrous
You missed
game
45
shooting threes, and yet it still was an overtime loss.
Yeah.
The Thunder, same thing, walk-off 3 from the Nuggets. It's the injuries to the Cavs, the collapse for the Cavaliers, and now having to overcome a 2-game deficit.
I think so. I think Indiana's going to win that series now, right? Going home, up 2 games. If they split at home, they're up 3-1. Garland, Mobley, Hunter. I mean, we're not certain any of these guys are going to play in the next game, right? For Cleveland. I mean, they're down 3 guys, and I don't know where they are above the shoulders. Like, you got to be just beat to hell above the shoulders, right? But are you going to be stunned if the Warriors win? Are you going to be stunned if the Nuggets win that series?
I'm going to be stunned.
Knicks would shock. Of all of them, which would be the most surprising? The Knicks, because the Celtics are supposed to be so good. And the Knicks had an 0-10 record against the best 3 teams in the league, including the Celtics this season. That was the one that would surprise me the most, probably.
I would put that at the top of the list, given the fact that I was all in on the Celtics winning the Eastern Conference again.
Yeah, I think that's the place. All right, let me give you the keyword. Coming up here in a little over a half hour, Josh Sushan's going to join us, the voice of the Isotopes. He'll join us from Oklahoma City. It's Topes and Comets today, right after the opening drive. There'll be a 10:05 first pitch. So we'll talk some baseball and even some hoops with Josh. The Sports Animals giving you an opportunity for a backyard blow up. So if you listen to our show as you do every day, we're going to give you a keyword. You'll take this keyword that I'm about to give you and you'll text it to 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. This will register you to win a hot tub from Valentine's Swimming Pool and Spa, an American Home Furniture and Mattress Plus patio set, a pottery set from Jackalope, a $5,000 gift card from Sin Lawn, and an annual plan from AAA Pest Control. The prizes are worth over $15,000. Today's keyword is yard. Y-A-R-D. Yard. Text the keyword to 505-246-0610. You will be registered to win the backyard blow-up. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies. past, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView.
All right, checking the text line. Again, YARD, Y-A-R-D, is the keyword. Hit the text line, 505-246-0610. Emails. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com are coming in this morning. This one's from Sarah. Triple Crown equals student athlete, Jeff. Are both obsolete? It's hard to tell these folks take classes seriously so they can graduate and make $50,000 a year when they're making 6 and 7 figures in their sport. Ditto with the Triple Crown when the trainer of the leading contender says he'd rather have a fresh horse for the Travelers Championship in August than run the Preakness. Yeah, Sovereignty's probably not going to run in the Preakness. He's going to save him for Belmont so there won't be a Triple Crown this year. Is it obsolete? There's a lot of talk about widening the gap between races, but the purists are saying, hell no, it's not supposed to be easy. It's what makes it so great. Bourne says Duck Pond update. It looks a lot deeper, Jeffy. They should be able to accommodate more ducks. Can't wait for the ribbon cutting when Michelle Lujan Newsom, Time Killer, and Stokes pat themselves on the back for addressing the most urgent need in New Mexico. I just read them as they're sent. It's from Bourne. Gopher wants to vent, JJ. What does the calendar say? Should be 90 degrees. Yesterday I thought I was going to freeze my arse off just walking out to the car. It was chilly yesterday. I don't know, man. We hadn't had rain in 4 months. Can I have a little more, please? Like, honestly. We haven't had rain in how long? Give me a little. I'll take it. Ken, how presaged was this? Jeff, OD callers never choke. Who said Minnesota's biggest challenge was not thinking they'd already won the state championship after 4 days of people patting them on the back for beating the Lakers and beating that guy? That's not over yet, Ken. That one's not over. Game 1 went to Minnesota. I'm just going to tell you, look, I don't know how long Steph's out, but if it's a hamstring, it's a minute. I love me some Jimmy Butler. I love me some Draymond Green and Buddy Hield. They can't win with a 7-game series against that team without Steph Curry, can they?
No.
Now, I'd have told you they wouldn't have won Game 1 without him, too. They built a lead with him. Maybe that was the cushion that they won by. But I'm going to ask you to tap the brakes a little bit on that. All right, news this morning. Steelers trade George Pickens to the Cowboys. Cowboys' search for a number 2 wide receiver has led them to George Pickens. In return, Cowboys send a 3rd-round pick next year to Pittsburgh, as well as a 5th-round pick in 2027. Steelers get also a 27 6th-round pick. I like it. Jerry Jones last week said they're working on on plural substantive trades. I guess this is it. It's a substantive trade if it works out. You got a 2nd-round talent, maybe even a 1st-round talent. Disgruntled where he was a bit of a diva. If you can get him straight, get the production out of him with a good quarterback, you got a really, really good weapon in Dallas for a 3rd-round pick. I always look at it this way. Am I going to get someone better with my 3rd-round pick than I'm going to get in return, right? I believe George Pickens is better than anything I'll get with my 3rd or that 5th-round pick. Now, I'm trading 2 for the 1, trying to get the upside, but I've seen this guy play at this level. I think he's really good. If we can reel him in and focus him off the field and get him the ball, then, yeah, he's better than anything I'm going to get in the 3rd round.
Pickens in this situation is a very good number 2 wide receiver playing opposite CeeDee Lamb. He's going to get opportunities. And this is one for Dak Prescott where it puts a little bit more pressure on him. And you're like, well, shouldn't it take pressure off? No, it puts pressure on him because there's no excuses now in the passing game. The run game, that's what Brian Schottenheimer wants to lean on. They want to be more physical up front. All right, they drafted a guard in the 1st round. I like what they've done over the last couple seasons trying to retool the offensive line. There are questions with the running back room, but that is, a position that even get towards the start of the season. Is there another veteran on the market? You just kind of piece it together. Jadon Blue is kind of the explosive, undersized guy that they've been successful with over the last few years. So I think he'll have a decent run in the second half of the season. So offensively, with a healthy Dak Prescott, Dallas is in a really good position. And then you look at what are they going to get? Defensively, can Micah Parsons be that game wrecker for him? He drafted an edge rusher in the 2nd round. They're getting some of the pieces in the secondary back off injury. This is a team that you're still going to take Philadelphia. Of course, fall in love with the Commanders and the quarterback that Daniels is, but a wild card contender with this foundation is there for the Dallas Cowboys.
Certainly offensively, yeah. A year ago, one of the big free agent receiver signings was Gabe Davis. Remember when he went from Buffalo and he signed with Jacksonville? He got $24 million guaranteed when he signed back in March of last year. Didn't make much of an impact. Jacksonville lost Christian Kirk last year. They lost Evan Ingram to injuries. He had 20 passes, did Gabe Davis. for 239 yards, scored 2 touchdowns. Today, the Jacksonville Jaguars have released Gabe Davis. He had a 3-year deal worth $39 million. So his $1.5 million salary and $10 million option bonus that are fully guaranteed, the Jags will absorb $20.3 million in dead cap space this year. I mean, how much of a fit do you have to not be for them to eat $20.3 million in dead cap space? You know what I'm saying? And a team that doesn't have, I mean, when you look at Jacksonville and you say, all right, I got a new coach in there, but Trevor Lawrence has to be it. Brian Thomas is good. They went out and got Travis Hunter. Is he a wide receiver? Is he a DB? I don't know.
He's a wide receiver.
All right. And they've got De'Ami Brown, and they just cut this guy. It's like,
yeah, because Brian Thomas is amazing.
Yes, he is.
What he did after
Yes,
his rookie season. Travis Hunter's going to start at wide receiver and then work his way to the other side of the football until you're looking at, all right, we just don't need Gabe Davis right now.
Yep. He gone, so he's on the market. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Marty.
Hey, guys. For once, I think as a Cowboy fan, they actually made a nice move. I was reflecting on last year's game against the Steelers. The one guy that constantly made plays against that Cowboy defense was George Pickens. And that's with Justin Fields as a quarterback. Because what I heard this morning on some of the national telecasts is like, well, 900 yards, 4 TDs. Yeah, but I'm like, who they have as a quarterback? Steelers have not had a viable quarterback option in some time. So I think he'll flourish. No more double teaming CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
I think he might have been the most double team receiver, most double team receiver in the league, and still put up great numbers. So it's kind of pick your poison, right? And I think I'll call it right now. Comeback player of the year for me is going to be Javonte Williams. I know he got that injury. He was really going the right direction, got hurt with the Broncos. But I thought he made a little bit of a comeback last year. Maybe the Broncos, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes it's time to move on from that. But I think with the Cowboys, I think he'll flourish. He's a physical runner. He's never been the fastest guy. But I think he'll be their starter at the start of the season. I think he'll be effective. And that division, it flips all the time, right? And the Commanders, they had a hard time beating Cooper Rush twice. I know they lost him. Cooper Rush beat him that one game, that crazy game. And then that second game, I thought they had him beat, if not for the backup quarterback. So I know they made a nice little run in the playoffs. Dan Quinn, I still don't know. We'll see. But I said that division is up for the taking. I think now with this move, I think the Cowboys position themselves to at least have a shot in that division that nobody has won back-to-back in 20-some years.
It's interesting. No, I appreciate the call. Thanks, Marty. He's got way more faith in Javonte Williams than I do, first of all. I don't see it. For Cowboy fan, I hope I'm wrong. Do you see it in Javonte Williams? I mean, you watched him as a Bronco.
Maybe a little bit better this season, but, you have underwhelming veteran running backs that you're hoping you get a little spark from either Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders' issue is he's always had a problem with injuries, right? He'll give you a spectacular game here and there,
which is fine. With it going in, you weren't going to be able to hit a home run in every position.
Correct.
In the offseason. And so
is Derrick Henry still available?
No. I don't think they could be done in the running back market, but it's not. It's going to be veteran guys that you're like, well, okay, maybe you get 2 games from Javonte Williams, couple from Miles Sanders. You are piecing it together at this point.
All right. Josh Sushan will be with us coming up at 9:45. 505-246-0610 is your number. Josh, of course, the voice of the Isotopes, will join us from Oklahoma City ahead of the big game against the Comets today. It's opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Mexico goat heads out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. I mean, they're not formally called that, yet until you make a big. What about the desert goat heads or the sand goat head? The goat heads is good, dude. I'm just telling you. How was you were out there for the big press conference out at the Rio Rancho Events Center? And I apologize for not getting out there. I just stuff on the schedule. I couldn't move.
I took the private jet out there.
No, it's good. It's good.
The studio worked out.
Cumulus got that for you.
Yeah.
How was it?
Solid. Looking at the lead up for this, I was talking with a few people from the Rev Management Group, and they said, an announcement like this doesn't happen that early, but they were able to get the ECHL on board. Rio Rancho was in, all the boxes were checked, and they wanted to roll this out. They wanted to start ramping up operations and then start building stuff throughout the community. And they're lot of people that are bought in on both sides. It's bringing professional hockey back to the state of New Mexico. And I think a big key to this, which will give it time to grow, is the fact that it will be affiliated with an NHL franchise. And the ECHL, why they picked Albuquerque, they wanted some Western expansion. They lost some teams out in this region.
You got a great building.
And their goal is to directly tie their development structure in 1-to-1. So every NHL team, will have their quote-unquote AAA affiliate and then AA affiliate. And so there will be a direct tie to a major league hockey, to a National Hockey League squad, which I think will really help give it some time to grow, where it's not just an independent endeavor in a league where you're trying to hang on and then blows up after 1 or 2 seasons.
Well, I think that's the stability of the league, right? The WIFL, the Western Professional Hockey League, and then the Central League. I think this market, the hockey fan really, really glommed onto it. I equate some of what's going on with United as far as the fandom, the fanaticism of the fandom, the loyalty of the fandom. Scorpions had an incredible base of fans. Now, it was about 4,000, 5,000, the core that was at every game.
That's good.
No, it was great. It was great when it was a team. People loved their hockey. They loved that team. They loved the personalities. As big as Daniel Bruce or some of these guys are with United right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that Derek Crawford, Travis Van Tighem, Tyler Boucher, Tony Martino were as big in this market as those guys are. I don't know if you recall all that, but they were. And hockey can be that, right?
So you're right. The thing is, the reality of the situation is, you want everyone on board, but that will not succeed if Rio Rancho doesn't support it. Like that's Rio Rancho's team.
So, and they made a pretty big deal about Rio Rancho was in the title, right, in the logo of the New Mexico Hockey Club. Does Albuquerque support it if it's branded as a Rio Rancho team?
I think you can have moments, like a weekend game, but for consistency, it's got to come from Rio Rancho. Like, how big is Rio Rancho now? The people in that city,
yeah, no, it's
like
big
they
enough.
have to activate the Rio Rancho. And it can't just be like, oh, the Albuquerque come out if you have games Friday, Saturday. Absolutely, make the drive. You got a good product. You get people interested. But if they don't get Rio Rancho involved, because there's no the drive, 20-minute drive, and then there's a neighborhood right across the street from there. Like, there's a neighborhood right there, Rio Rancho Event Center. Drive 5-10 minutes. Like, this isn't, oh my gosh, I got to commute 40 minutes from my house, or it's gonna be like 50 minutes. Like, they have to figure out how to get Rio Rancho on board.
Yeah, no. To your point, if you live in the Heights, on a Tuesday night to get out for a 7:00 game,
it's not going to be for Albuquerque on the weeknights.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I live in the foothills. Okay, nothing against Rio Rancho, but if I've got a kid who's got a school tomorrow for a 7:00 game on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, I got to leave. Like, I got to get them out of practice, and it does in that at that time of day. So it's going to take about an hour to get out there, right?
I know they're in the process of hiring a marketing director, and I probably can't get that position. But
why?
For me, I would focus on Albuquerque for the weekends and Rio Rancho for everything else.
Okay.
Like, even have your Metro ticket package where do some special dates on a Friday and Saturday.
Well, I think you got to get whatever Rio Rancho's Metro
and then
bus.
Rio Rancho is has to be your consistent base. You say, all right, you talk about Rio Rancho and everything that's good about the city, where here's something that you can embrace. Here's something you can get behind on it.
What about a bus, a Tuesday, Wednesday game that leaves Cottonwood Mall? I've got 3 buses that are going to the game, and it's free transport. And I understand that the Cottonwood Mall is in Albuquerque, but why not the whole west side? I mean, it's a 15-minute drive from Cottonwood
Mall. We got ideas.
Right? Why wouldn't you have 3 buses going Cottonwood Mall to the game? It's a 7 o'clock puck drop. I got one leaving at 5:30, 5:45, and 6 o'clock, and 6:15 or whatever. And it's free.
Works. Sponsorship deals.
Well, look, mean, that's what it's all about. I love the fact that hockey's back. I think this market loved professional hockey. I will tell you this, if you've been out to an Ice Wolves game, and that's junior hockey, and I think what Stan Hubbard's done with that club has been spectacular. If you've not been there, you should. Like, the Outpost is great. It's hard to get a ticket, and it's what Stan wanted, right? It's a small rink. It's an intimate setting. It's about 1,000 people. They sell that rink out on a regular basis. They got a good product out there. People love hockey. They love those kids, and there's a loyalty. As big as, I mean, pick your favorite New Mexico United player over the years. As big as any of those guys have been in the community, some of the Scorpions were just as big back in the day. Hockey fans loved that product. It was fun. It was exciting. And I loved what they talked about. We want to embrace fun. I loved where they were going with it. It's got to be family entertainment. I'm excited about it. I am. This is something that's been brewing. I told you this over a year and a half ago. This was about ready to happen, right? And it took a long time for this thing to brew and come to fruition. But I'm glad it did. Pretty good vibe out there. It looked like there was a decent. I saw some Scorpion sweaters out there as well, by the way. You're going to see those at a lot of games, aren't you? And that crowd will come out, and then you'll get new fans. But I agree with you on the Rio Rancho thing. Rio Rancho's going to have to back it. And Intel doesn't back much. You don't see Intel doing sponsorships anywhere. HP's out there, right? I mean,
there's plenty out there where this can't just be looked at as an endeavor by, oh, guess what? It's going to die when it goes out there. You know what? It's not for you right now. If you want to go out there, awesome. And you're not turning your back on anything, but this isn't going to be on Albuquerque to keep that team afloat at the Rio Rancho Event Center.
I think that's right. I mean, you can't ignore Albuquerque, and I think Albuquerque people are going to enjoy it and go out there and have to be part of it. But you're right, man. A Tuesday, Wednesday night game. You're going to be competing with high school football, right? On in October.
Oh yeah, those Cleveland Rio Rancho stadiums are going to be full.
Yeah. Look, I think this metro area is grown up where we can have more than one event a night. People lose their mind, right? We still get that email. Well, why are they doing something at Popejoy the same night that there's something at the stadium? Different crowd. We got 1 million people in the damn metro area. Like, we can do more than one thing. We've grown up. We're all screwed up now. But I think this is great. And I love the fact that Rev's coming in and, they run the Rangers, and you're going to have the Dallas Stars helping them as far as talent and as far as the show and the operations. But I think they really want to have a local flair to it as well.
Yeah, and that was mentioned a few times in the press conference where, they're a Dallas-based ownership group, Texas, I should say, but they know this is New Mexico's team, and it's going to be New Mexico people involved in the process, with, the community outreach, etc.
Yep, it needs to be. All right, when we come back, Josh Sushon's going to be with us, the voice of the Albuquerque Isotopes. Is day ball today. In fact, right after our show, first pitch, Isotopes and Oklahoma City Comets. The voice of the Isotopes, Josh Sushon, who was at game 1 of the Thunder and Nuggets. He will join us from Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today. If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavis, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come.
Got the memo a couple days ago. All right, you guys are out, 9:42. Clear the way. Isotopes baseball. JJ made plans. I mean, breakfast. No. This is better, actually.
This is KNML Albuquerque, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports.
We get Isotopes baseball today, right after our show. It's Isotopes and Comets, game 2. You said Comets. Yes, Isotopes and Comets in Oklahoma City. After winning the opener 6-2 last night, Josh Sushon will have the call from Bricktown Ballpark. Hello, Josh. How are you? That's my bad, man. My Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park. I apologize. I'm big on the sponsorship thing. You know that. Big win last night. See? Oh. All right, so when you are a big-time play-by-play guy for the Albuquerque ISO, I mean, you get access. So I don't know if you got Katy Perry tickets, but you got the VIP access for Game 1 of Thunder and Nuggets the other night. How was that atmosphere? That's VIP. That's where they put the VIPs there. That's Oklahoma. Yep. That's how that game works. Yep. No.
Did you get one of the T-shirts? No way. You got to have an arm to get a T-shirt up to the 6th row from the top, don't you? Beautiful. All right. I was looking around. What are the percentage of the people in those black T-shirts that at the end of the game just have their mouths wide open and both hands on top of their heads? Right. Yeah, we're extending the game. I've been to a regular season game there, and I think the crowd there is great. They love it, so I can only imagine the atmosphere. Walking out, I mean, was anybody talking, or were people just grumbling? Were they pissed at the coach? Like, because that's got to be, you're up all game long. You're the 1 seed. This is your year, and I know your season didn't end. I guess just game 1, but like just part of that crowd walking out, the defeat, the disgust must have been palpable. Josh Sushan is with us, the voice of the Isotopes. It's Topes and Comets today, right after our show here in a few minutes. Comets. Is it did it take you a minute to not call them the baseball club or the Dodgers, or because every year it's a different thing, but they had a name the team. It's named after Mickey Mantle, right? Like, because he was the whatever town he was from, Commerce Comet. Yeah. Took you a minute? Yeah. Are they really? All right. Your club got a win last night, 6-2. Good win. It's been a rough start for the Topes. Been a rougher start for the big club. We had Sam Hilliard on last week, and I asked him a question about how much does what's going on with the Rockies filter down, if at all. Rockies are 6-28. It's a historically bad start for them. Do you feel any of that filtering down? I mean, you're with the club every day. Yeah. How much of this is going to fall on Bud Black? I think he's a terrific manager. Rocky's manager. I think he's a good baseball guy. He's an Aztec. He's proven himself. His roster can't win. I don't care who the manager is, but usually the manager takes the fall for this. It feels like the front office understands, but I know Bud Black a little bit too. It kind of feels like he's going to end up being the fall guy here. And there's a lot of me that says that, yeah. Yeah. It's probably him. Well, and they're also different because they've only won 6 games, and it's May 7th, and they're 6-28. You got a big one today. It's Albuquerque. It is Oklahoma City. It's coming up for you here on the Sports Animal in about 5 minutes from now. Josh Suchon will have the call. Topes are back in town next week. They will play Tacoma. Is that right? You're back in with Tacoma next week. All right. All right. Have a great call. I always love this. It's always great catching up with you. Enjoy Oklahoma. Maybe you'll get the Katy Perry concert. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. He's up next. Have a great call. We'll see you soon, my friend. All right, be well. He is Josh Suchon. Thanks to him. Isotopes Baseball is next. It'll be followed by the Jim Rome Show. 2 Men On comes in at 4. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the visuals. He is JJ Buck. I am merely Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.